This is Shutters Inc. with Bruce Williams and Glynn Lavender.
Hi and welcome to episode 505 of Shutters Inc. This is Bruce Williams from shuttersincpodcast.com, and joining me once again from Melbourne, Victoria, from creativephotoworkshops.com.au, it is Mr. Glynn Lavender. How are you?
You know, I'm super relaxed.
Super relaxed. Fantastic.
Super relaxed.
Okay. Flushed all the anger out of your system from last week.
You should ask me why.
Why are you super relaxed, Glynn?
Because, Bruce, we live in a world of technology. And technology, seamless as it is, everything works to perfection. And you can always rely and count on it. Yeah. And, you know, that gives you that sense of freedom and calmness that just... It's unbelievable, Bruce. I think we've reached nirvana. I think technology has got us to a point of perfection that humankind probably never thought they would ever attain.
Right.
Yet here we are.
Yep.
After spending the last 15 minutes trying to get my effing computer to work.
Yes.
Oh, God, technology. God, I hate technology. I hate technology.
It's fun and games.
So we've just tried the last 10 minutes trying to... Bruce could hear me. I couldn't hear him. Often it's the other way around.
Yeah.
And usually the problem's on Bruce's end. Today it was on mine. Tried everything. Disconnected Skype, reconnected Skype, unpaired my headphones, repaired my headphones, took off Bluetooth, restarted Bluetooth, went to restart the computer. And, of course, I'm using a Microsoft computer tonight. So, of course, it needs updating and shutting down and restarting and cleaning and this and that. And then all that, and still nothing had changed. So I had to remove my Bluetooth device and then repair my Bluetooth device. And here we are, relaxed and joyous in the world of technology.
Honestly, if Linux could just make the audio side of things as easy as it is on Windows, I would flick Windows in a heartbeat. I could never use that system. What, Linux?
Yeah.
Why? What do you know about it?
I just don't like the name.
Well, you don't have to like the name.
I don't like the name. I don't like how it's said.
Right, because you think it should be Linux.
I'd be happier. It sounds more computer and techie.
Yeah.
See, that's the Penguin one, right?
Yeah.
Why isn't it just called Penguin? You've got apples. You've got windows.
The Penguin is the mascot.
Bruce. But they're things. There's a window. That's a real thing. An apple. That's a thing. Penguin. It's a real thing, Bruce. People would warm to it better if it was called Penguin.
They probably would.
Who doesn't like a penguin?
That's it.
I mean, especially with barbecue sauce. I mean, you want to put them in a like a slow cooker for like 14 hours because they can be a bit gamey, a bit tough,
a bit chewy.
Yeah, so 14 hours on low. You know, stirring at about the 8-hour mark.
Yep.
Adding a little extra Worcestershire sauce just at that 8-hour mark at the same time because you've got but don't. Here's a crucial thing, Bruce.
Yeah.
Don't lift the lid any more than that.
Right.
That one time because they lose heat like crazy.
Yeah.
And take forever to regain that heat again, even though it's on low. So if you want your penguin a little chewy, take your lid off a couple of times during the course. I'm telling you, if you want your penguin just to kind of melt off the bones and off the wings and off the fur, because you got to do the whole bird penguin. You can't just so you need your larger style the slow cooker.
Right.
There's those little jobbies you get at your supermarket's not going to do. You want your big bugger, you know, for the full bird. Now, here's your thing. So you got to be very selective with which penguin you're going to choose because your king emperors, they're not going to fit.
Right.
No, doesn't matter what size cookie you got, it ain't going to fit. And don't chop the feet off like some try and do because that's where some of the best stuff is. The beak and feet. You know? Right. So it's all got to go in. So pick your smaller penguin. Your fairies are okay, but you need to put 3 or 4 in a pot because they tend to cook down a bit. So, if you're feeding a family of 4, you'd think your 4 penguins is going to be enough, but no, they cook down. Not like quail do. It doesn't go down quite as small as a quail, but it's not even as big as a full-size chicken, Bruce.
Right.
Yeah, and of course there's less meat on them than a chicken. So if you're doing a family of 4, I recommend 5 fairy penguins.
Right.
Which of course means you could have enough sauce.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good to know.
So it's a pleasure. Yeah. So next week on Cooking with Glynn, aardvarks. Yeah. If you think your crispy pork crackling is tough, you wait till you get your aardvark. Oh,
It's tough before you cook it.
it's tough. It's even tough. It's tough before, during, and after. You know, it's not often you have to bring garden instruments into your dining room, but one of those little saws they used to chop down tree branches, very handy. Yes. Yeah, pruning saws, I think they're called, pruning shears.
That's it.
But you want your electric ones. Even though the problem with the electric ones, of course, as we all know, it does tend to fling food at the people on the opposite side of the table. So if you're going to serve aardvark with garden seed, you want to go your Jesus Last Supper, right? Where everyone's sitting on the same side of the table,
Right.
and all you're doing is flinging food at the guy who took the photo of the Last Supper.
Right. Excellent.
Yeah.
Hate to break it to you, but I don't think it was a photo.
Well, come on. No, they wouldn't have sat there that long to pose. Come on. No wonder they all had pained expressions on their faces. Especially that girl sitting on his left.
Would have been an iPhone version 1.
Did you ever see the Monty Python Last Supper? Oh, God,
I don't know if I have. What is that from?
It's from Monty Python.
Yeah, I was going to say, which movie was it from?
No, it's from the TV series.
Oh, okay.
And the Pope calls in Leonardo and says, "What do you call this?" And he goes, "What?" He goes, "This. Who are all these people?" And he's got like waiters. Well, there had to be someone serving food, didn't they? You know. Okay, and we get all this stuff. Why the kangaroos? Oh, I thought it had a little bit of life to it. He goes, look, and after he goes to all this stuff, he goes, right, I can live with all that other stuff. He goes, can you tell me why on earth did you paint 3 Jesuses? And he says, well, the fat one in the middle bounces out the 2 skinny ones on the outside. It's a hilarious sketch. You got to see it.
Right.
So with Eric Idle as Da Vinci, which is it's just gold.
Excellent.
Yeah, so how have you been, mate? You been all right? You been good? You been okay? You been fine?
Yeah, flat out at work. Working on a very exciting book at the moment, which is good. So,
Ethel the Aardvark goes quantity survey.
there you go. Good old Ethel the Aardvark.
Do you know that one?
Yes, I do. That's from Cheese Shop.
But no, it's not. No, it's not from Cheese Shop.
I think you'll find it is.
I think you'll find it's not.
I think you'll find it is.
Well, there's no record called Cheese Shop.
No, the sketch.
It comes from Contractual Obligational album. But
Yes,
I think you'll
but it's
find
from the skit Cheese Shop.
no, it's not. It's cheeses.
It is.
It's
Because
not.
he says, I was
What a
sitting in
sense-
the something or other library browsing, Ethel the
No, no,
Aardvark
no.
goes quantity surveying, and I
it's from
suddenly
the
came
bookshop.
over all esulant.
It's from the bookshops. But here's the thing, though. It's not even from Monty Python.
What, Ethel the Aardvark?
The whole sketch where he goes in and he wants to buy Ethel the Aardvark and Nicholas Nickleby by Charles Wickens. And it's a whole sketch in a bookshop on Monty Python's Contractual Obligational album. But it comes from not the 1948 show, which was John Cleese and Marty Feldman.
Okay. I'm
Gosh.
pretty sure it's from the start of Cheese Shop, but
No, okay, there's it. Folks, we're going to Google this live. This is a live Cheese Shop sketch.
you don't want the live
Monty.
version, you want the album version.
Did I say live?
Eh?
I just said all I said was Cheese Shop sketch Monty Python script. Here we go. Cheese Shop casinos. What? Cheese Shop casinos? Monte Casinos. There we go. Transcribed. Here we go. That's what we're looking for right here. From Michigan Institute of Technology. Good morning, sir. Welcome to the National Cheese Emporium. Thank you, my good man. What can I do for you? Well, I was sitting in the public library on Thurman Street, now skimming through Rogue Harry's by Hugh Walpole. And I suddenly came, all peckish.
Peckish, sir?
Peckish, sir. Assurient.
Eh?
Ia all hungry like.
Hungry.
So, So, come on. I want to hear those magic little words that Glynn just loves to hear.
Yeah, okay. I'm sorry.
No, not those ones. The far better ones than that.
Oh, you were right.
Here we go. Winner, chicken penguin dinner.
Okay, fair enough. So what was the skit then?
The skit was called the Bookshop Sketch. And he goes in and he wants Olsen's Standard Book of British Birds, the one without the gannets. What do you mean by that? They've all got the gannets. It's a standard British bird. And he goes, well, I don't like them. They wet their nests. Right, no better. He rips out of the book. What else do you like? Oh, I don't like the nuthats. Right, nuthats. Right, there's your book. Now buy it. I can't buy that. It's torn.
That's right.
But it actually comes from well before Python. So
right,
as did the Four Yorkshiremen sketch,
right,
which was Marty Feldman as well, and Tim Brooke Taylor from the Goodies, and John Cleese, and that's from well before the Pythons. But they purloined it, Bruce. They purloined it.
Yes.
So can you tell us what the book is that's got you so assurient?
I can't. But
I knew you were going to say that.
What is intriguing about this particular book is the way in which it has been written, where every not quite alternate chapters, but let's just say alternate chapters for the ease of the conversation. One chapter will be a typical narrative chapter that will be read by one person, but the alternate chapters sound like a podcast. They are written like a podcast in the book.
So it sounds like us?
It sounds much better than us.
Oh, okay. Coherent.
And the great thing is we're actually getting to produce it like a podcast. So
oh, really?
So it's a really interesting idea.
You might learn some tips.
Maybe.
Yeah, get this on par with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
I bet you anything that theirs is scripted.
Yes.
Yeah, so we just make it up on the spot.
And researched.
Oh. So you could do it. You could do it before and we could put into place some of those steps and see just how our audience grows. Yeah.
Who's going to do the research, you or me?
Well, I think we all know who that's going to be. Yeah, we're dangerously close to double-figure listeners already. Yeah. So we could take this up to the 20s.
Yeah.
Anyway. So can you tell us what roughly the subject matter is? Is it a fiction book or is it like
it is a work of fiction? Yeah.
Oh, okay then.
Once it's released, I'll be happy to tell you all about it because we are both Brad and I are really excited about this project. I'm getting to do the lion's share of the work, which is great, and just really loving the fact that, unlike most of the other audiobooks that we do, with this, there's the opportunity to be a little bit creative with it, where, when it's just one person reading a book, all you're doing is recording it and then you de-breath it and master it, and that's pretty much it. So there's no creative aspect to the production of a normal audiobook, where we're actually getting to do some sound design, put some sound effects in, bit of treatment. Yeah, it's good. I'm having fun with it.
What genre? Can you at least give us a genre?
Crime fiction.
Oh yeah, okay. Yeah. I could listen to that. Send me a copy. I'll review it for the podcast.
Excellent.
What voice do you play?
I don't play any voices.
What do you mean? Don't you read the?
I'm not.
Don't you? I thought you did audiobooks.
I do. I engineer the recording. I don't speak.
Since when? When did you stop doing that?
I never was doing that.
Before you used to do the jingles and sing those songs for the radio, I heard you.
No, you didn't.
Tint a car, come over and tint my car. I heard you, Bruce.
Yeah, that was not me.
That's me going, everyone. I'll be going down the street and they'll be playing. That's my mate Bruce doing that. I've been lying to people for years.
Good on you.
Oh, so this has changed my entire viewpoint of the world.
There you go.
There you go. So you've had a good week at work, is what you're telling us.
Yeah, it's been busy, but it's been a lot of fun. So,
nice.
Yeah.
How much more have you got to go? How long does it take to wrap?
We should finish recording the book tomorrow if everything goes well, or early next week otherwise, and then there's probably 2 weeks of editing.
So if you're a voice actor, wouldn't it do you good to kind of stuff a few things up so it delays you get more pay?
No.
Does it go? No?
Because that's not how the pay works.
Really? It's not per word?
No. The fee structure for the narrators is a certain dollar amount per finished hour.
Oh, that's not good, is it?
So if you are someone who makes a lot of mistakes, you are decimating your hourly rate.
Oh. So you know beforehand that the book's going to be roughly 9 hours of recording, finished recording.
Yeah, for example, you might say, okay, this is going to be an 8-hour book, and, based on the finished hourly rate, I can multiply that by 8 and have a rough idea of what I'm going to earn for doing the book, if you're the narrator. Yes, but if you're really efficient and you don't make a lot of mistakes, then you're essentially increasing your pay per hour.
Yeah.
But it's all based on the finished runtime of the book.
Huh.
Yeah.
How many people are doing this? Because you wouldn't want to hear the same person on the same books all the time.
That depends. I mean, there are some exceptionally good narrators around. There's a guy here in Sydney who is a POM. He's been out here for a few years now, and he is in very high demand for audiobooks because he can do pretty much any accent you throw at him. Really? And he does an absolutely brilliant job of every book I've ever heard him read.
Wow.
So somebody like that is always getting work, and as someone who even listens to audiobooks in my own spare time, I will happily listen to any book he's read.
Does he get paid more than, say, lesser voices?
He does, because he knows how good he is. So he does demand a higher rate, and he gets it because he's that good.
Nice.
Yeah. So
well, sign me up then, Bruce. I'll do some. Because, this technology's flawless, so we should be able to do it over. I shouldn't even have to get out of bed.
That's right. There you go.
It were a cold, dark night in the middle of the night, and it was dark. Dark, I tells you, dark. And then the moon came up, and it was no longer so dark. It was lighter than it was when it was really dark. Now it was semi-dark. Aye. See?
I have no idea why you have not been discovered yet, mate.
You're preaching to the converted here, mate. I'm telling you, unbelievable. Anyway,
we should talk photography.
Not necessarily. You should ask me what I've done this week.
Oh, what have you done this week?
Not much. No, I've had a busy.
Did you narrate any audio books?
Well, I did just then.
Excellent. What were you going to say?
I was going to say I've had a busy week.
Yeah,
but not. Did any photos? No, I released my video on YouTube of my first review and shots of the 11 to 20 Tamron lens.
Excellent.
It's up there, and it's got. I'll tell you, I reckon I've got. If I can't do audiobooks because of technology, because that's the only downside of the technology. I could be a YouTube star instead.
Fantastic.
Because my video's gone semi-viral.
Nice.
It's got like a raspy throat to them. It's got like a when you wake up and you start to feel like getting a bit of a cold. You got just like a little burning in the back of your throat.
Yeah.
That's what this has gone.
Right.
It hasn't gone viral yet. It's gone kind of scratchy, itchy, burny bit of throat. Yeah, I'm up to like 700 views, Bruce.
Nice.
700.
Nice.
In 1 week. That's like 300 a day.
That's great.
So I put that out. Oh, I did a portrait of my daughter for her 10th birthday.
Lovely.
I'm doing a bit. My eldest daughter did a night vigil, standing at the local memorial for the Anzacs.
Yep.
Yeah. So she did. She was up at 3:00 in the morning doing a nighttime vigil. See, here's the thing you don't know: Scouts guard the memorials on the night of Anzac Eve.
Why would the Scouts do it?
Well, here's the thing. That's how I learned. This is the first time my daughter's done it, so I learned a bit of stuff. Back in the 1930s, in Western Australia, on the eve of Anzac Day, people would go around and damage and deface war memorials.
Really?
In Western Australia in the 1930s. So people had a bit of a loss as to what to do. So the Western Australian scouting movement volunteered that their scouts would stand vigil all night long to protect them.
Wow.
And they've been doing it for the next 90 years.
Wow. I did not know that.
Me either. Well, I knew they stood vigil because I know the Scouts have been doing it since I've been involved in the movement for the last few years with my eldest daughter.
Yeah.
But it's the first time she's actually done one. And so that was pretty amazing. So they have 3 or 4 scouts just stand in front of the memorial, just heads bowed and respectful. And so for those who don't know, Anzac, Australian New Zealand Army Corps, it's our day of celebrating our diggers and their sacrifice, and across multiple conflicts.
Yeah.
It started out with one particular, we're not going into details, but one particular battle, but it goes across all conflicts and all engagements the last 100-odd years. So so she did that, and then my youngest daughter did a poem reading at the dawn service.
Right.
So in Australia here, dawn service is a big thing where veterans march and people come out and pay respects and so on. So she did a poetry reading to represent the school and laid a wreath of flowers for her school. So that was a proud little moment for Dad.
Yeah, nice.
And a strange thing where I had to try and source a video camera for someone.
Right.
So this guy rings me up. Is a mate of mine. He's an ex-Hollywood director.
Okay.
And he rings me up and he says, "Oh, mate, I'm pulling my hair out. I want to buy a camera. There's none available anywhere. And no one can give me a straight answer when they'll be available. And all they'll do, I have to place it, pay for it in full, right? And no one can tell me if and when I'm going to get stock."
What?
And he goes, and it's a $10,000 camera.
Jeez.
So he's going to put $10,000 down with no information whatsoever of when it would be available. So this is Sony FX6 camera.
Yep. That's the new one.
And the new one, yeah. And so this thing apparently is so I said, "Look, leave it with me. Let me see what I can do." You know, when you know people, you never know what can happen. So I got in touch with some people I know, and they said, "Mate, this is from inside Sony." They said, "Mate, this thing's so worldwide shortage that so Sony Australia get all their stock from Sony Singapore, not from Sony Japan."
Right.
So it's like a hub. It's the hub. So Sony Australia has to, when they order the units of this particular unit through Sony Singapore, they have to show the invoice that it's been paid in full.
Wow.
Right, by the person, and they have to write down what's the first job the tool's going to be used for.
What?
Yeah, you have to, and they will, based on how they rate the answers to that, who will get the stock and who won't get the stock.
Seriously?
How amazing is that? I've never heard of it. In my 40 years, I've never heard anything like this. Yeah, it's amazing. And it says one of the problems they're trying to combat is, making people pay in full is because people just go around to 5 stores and place 5 deposits.
Yeah.
And they'll buy the first one, then you get the refund from the other ones. It stuffs up the entire ordering system for everybody.
Yeah.
And if you're a store that doesn't often sell $10,000 video cameras, you don't want that thing stuck on your shelf.
No.
Even if it's hot, it's not a risk you want to take. So, and having to put the 10,000 down straight up is going to really limit who's going to try and do something like that. And to further reduce the chances is to have to list what job it's for.
Yeah, right.
So I'm going, man. So they said to me, "Look, end of July, maybe first shipments that aren't already pre-sold.
Wow.
So I said, oh, man. So I'll get in touch with another person I know. Nah, don't be stupid, Glynn. No hope. In touch with another person, got in touch with another person, got in touch with another. Oh, eight people I know in the industry who could deal with that sort of stuff. But this guy calls me back and he goes, how you going? I said, mate, this is the deal. Told him the whole story. It's impossible to get. And he's going, well, maybe I'll just fly to Hong Kong and buy one and come back. But I'm worried about the warranty because I need the camera for a job,
Yeah.
And I said, well, yeah, it's the problem is that he said, I've got a friend in New York who could buy it at B&H and ship it to me because B&H won't ship this camera overseas.
No.
And he says, but once again, no warranty. So yeah, leave it with me. I found him one.
Right.
I got him a bloody camera. I mean, this is like finding the proverbial chicken tooth.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Or penguin tooth, is sticking with the theme. So I bloody got, and so now he owes me a favour, which is bloody brilliant, because that's what you want.
Yeah.
You want people who've got skills to owe you favours. So I'm going to try and figure out how I can maybe get do a filming for me for a day for free or something, you know?
Yeah, right.
And yeah, maybe film a little short course or something I can sell. I don't know, but there's got to be some value there somewhere for me. So
yeah.
But yeah, so I had that was just kind of fun, just to be on the hunt like that. It's like whenever it's like when you're looking for a bike. When you're looking at buying a new bike, the hunt is pretty exciting.
Yeah,
I always love that sort of stuff. That's why I love collecting stuff. I always love the hunt more than the actual acquisition.
Yeah.
And then this weekend I've got a full day shooting. I'm doing 6 mini workshops, 5 1.5 hour workshops. So that's going to time out. So I've been desperately trying to find a bloody model, and that's I've been pulling my hair out with that. And I finally think I've got a model, but we'll see if she even shows up.
Right.
It's going to be a bit of fun, but I feel a bit rusty. I haven't really gone out and done this in so long. It's like God,
Yeah.
Let's see if it's like falling off a wheel. I don't ride bikes. Yeah. So see if it's like falling off a wheel. See if you get back on it. No, I fell off a horse.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, that was it. That was my week. It's
Fantastic.
been eventful and running around doing a bunch of other stuff. Looking at cars still. Yeah.
Looking at cars. What do you mean?
I'm looking at buying a new car.
Oh, okay.
But it's the worst possible time in the world to buy a new car.
Right.
Because 3-year-old cars sell $3,000 more than new cars.
Yeah.
Yeah, so not a good time to buy a car, new or used, because you can't buy the new, and anything even like 1 year old is more expensive than it would be to buy a new one. So it's a bit of a nightmare. And then everything I start getting a little bit interested in, I then stupidly go online and look for complaints. Because people don't they don't go online to say nice things about stuff.
No,
they only go online when there's a problem. And so every single vehicle I've looked at, it's like, oh my God, problems after problems after problems. So what are you going to do? So it might get to the point I just can't buy it. Too much choice and too much indecision. I might just not have to. Maybe I will get a bicycle. Be fun to dink the kids on the back of that whilst I go for a ride in the country.
There you go.
You put the whole family on the back there for a camping trip.
Yep.
The tents. So I've been running around doing a bit of that, and it's been my week.
Cool.
Yeah.
Since 2005, Shutters Inc. has been a labour of love. But beyond the time required to produce it, there is also a financial commitment. If you find value in the podcast and would like to help keep the servers running, hit up the Patreon link, which is in the show notes. Even a couple of dollars a month will help. Much appreciated. Now, back to the podcast.
Should we talk photography? So we're half an hour in. We're half an hour in, and are we half an hour in? Yeah, well, exactly. This is two strange things happened to me today, Bruce.
Yeah.
I'm reading a book. I don't do those audio books; they're crap. I'm reading a book on my phone at the moment, and because the phone screen's not big, this book is like 1,700 pages long.
Yep.
I don't know how far into this book I am. I've been reading for like a week, maybe a few days anyway. I'm a long way in. I go to pick up the phone. I'm back to page 0. It hasn't bookmarked where I was. It's gone back to it's like, oh my God. I remember I was like halfway down the page. Anyway, so I've got the scroll thing, and I'll scroll. Took my finger off, right to the page.
Oh, you're kidding.
The first words I looked at is exactly where I finished off the last sentence I read. It's like, my God, that is just uncanny.
Yeah, right.
Number one thing of amazing stuff. Number two, I said, we've been going about 30 minutes. I looked at my voice recorder just as it went to 30.00.
Wow.
Bruce, this is it. This is this technical perfection we were talking about earlier.
There you go.
It's all there. My goodness. So anyway, someone mentioned photography somewhere along the line. Apparently it's a photography podcast,
Yeah.
not a penguin cooking podcast.
What do you got?
Well, here's the thing. Not much. Fortunately, our listeners say, good, because we can leave earlier.
Yeah.
Black.
What's black?
Well, there was some bloody article or video on D Preview
Yeah.
how I photograph portraits against one of the blackest materials on the planet.
Oh, okay.
With a 99.5. I lost so much interest already.
You didn't send me the link for it.
No, because what's the point? Who cares?
Okay.
Yeah, you photograph things in front of a black thing. Woo!
Yeah.
Fancy do to that. But far more importantly,
Yeah.
I went to the comments.
Right.
And the comments are where we know it's at.
Yeah.
So, let me read some of the comments.
Okay.
I thought that Alana Miles had the artistic rights to Black Velvet. Nice. As black as my OLED TV. I can't see it. That's the next one. All this time we've been focusing on white balance when we should have been focused on black balance. Black balance matters. Great for faking moon landings. Which I thought was fairly appropriate since Mike Collins died overnight.
Yes, I did see that.
First thought that came to me, ninjas. Second thought, how will I do environmental portraits of ninjas? Because
The great thing is you can pass it off as either a single portrait or a group photo and no one will know.
Exactly. You can sell one to all of them.
That's
No,
it.
that's you. Look how good you go. Look how good you go, mate. Can't even see you. You're ninjas. You're ninja stuff for sure. There's a ninja school somewhere here in Melbourne, and people crawl around the parks in ninja outfits. It's bloody... it's embarrassing for them. A little safer than shooting in front of a black hole, I guess. Well, I guess. Yeah, fair point. Yeah, these D Preview people, they do have some interesting concepts. With the high intensity lights and a long enough exposure, wide open, you might be able to reveal the blackened silhouette of Satan finally.
Right.
Some wit replied that if you use your ND filters coated in holy water, it makes it easier.
What?
And this guy's disappointed of all because the guy did people and other items in front of this black thing, and he goes, "Where's the black cat in the coal mine demonstration?" Very. Now here's the other thing: serendipity.
Yeah.
Over there on Peter Pixel, they've got some guys developed the whitest paint ever.
Oh, okay.
We've got the blackest of blacks, and Bruce, now we've got the whitest of whites. So you know what I did?
What'd you do?
I ignored the article, went straight to the comments.
Of course.
Guess what was there?
What?
None. Some guy bleating about because apparently the white paint is the same white as some white piece of paper.
Right.
That apparently is really white.
Right.
And then some guy said, there's only two comments. One is, oh yeah, I really like that white paper. And then the next guy goes, I don't. When I used it, I got a magenta hue. I mean, those Peter Pixel guys, I'm disappointed that D Preview didn't put the whitest of whites on theirs and we get some smart comments because those Peter guys, unbelievably poor. So that's that black and white. I thought that was pretty amazing.
Excellent.
You know? I'm going to go back see if the comments keep going on black and see if there's part 2 for next week.
Right.
Because it's riveting stuff.
Oh yeah.
No, yeah, I can tell. Now what else have I got? TT Artisan.
Yeah.
I've just released 2 more of their 50mm 1.2 lenses.
Wow.
For Nikon Zs and Leica, but they also make them for Fuji, Olympus, and Sony.
Right.
And they're $100.
$100.
$100. So I thought, you should buy one for your Sony.
So it's a manual focus 50mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
At 1.2. Let's see, you get that sucker in focus.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Does your camera have focus peaking?
Yes.
So that'd probably work with that, I guess, wouldn't it? As long as you don't move, as long as you don't budge or the subject doesn't budge a millimetre.
Yeah.
If you're in a wind machine, there's wind tunnels.
Yeah.
They're used for like aeronautics and stuff.
Yeah.
If you're in one of those with the wind turned off, you'd probably be able to, and you had your camera on a tripod and you're photographing like a banana, you could probably get that in focus.
What's the wind tunnel got to do with it?
How do you mean?
Why do we need to be in a wind tunnel?
Well, if you're in a wind tunnel with the wind turned off, guess what you don't have, Bruce?
No wind.
There you go.
Right.
You've got to be in lab conditions to test these things. Otherwise, out there in the real world, I mean, the variables are too high.
Right.
You know, you can't repeat the experiment easily.
I see. Okay.
Mind you, bananas probably won't work either because if you had to do it like a week later, that banana's not going to be the same condition, is it?
No, it's not.
And the chance of finding another banana exactly the same. Tennis balls, Bruce.
Right.
Because tennis balls have that little furry stuff. You're about to see how much fur's in focus, how much fur's out of focus.
Right.
And without wind ruffling it, perfect. And I'm led to believe that most tennis balls are about the same size, about the same colour. And more importantly, don't go off during the week.
Always a good thing.
Well, you don't want your tennis ball with black spots all over it.
No.
And kind of saggy in the middle.
No, that would not be good.
So there you go. Set that up, Bruce. Let's do that experiment. Buy a lens, get a wind tunnel.
Right.
Do you have a tripod? If you
I
don't,
will put that on my to-do list.
I could probably organise a tripod for you. And possibly the tennis balls.
Right.
What else? There's an article on Peter's Pixels showing the difference between Sony and Pentax at high ISO. They were doing some tests, Bruce,
Okay.
Which struck my interest straight away because, well, whoever mentions Pentax, for starters.
There you go.
And you know what the conclusion was?
No.
Neither do I, because it was so boring after the first sentence, I just put the link in and went away.
Right.
Normal level O research right there for you.
Yeah.
I saw some bloke had done a photo of New York with his gigapixel camera.
Yep.
And I haven't looked at it.
No, it's actually a
but
company.
It looks pretty good from what I can see.
It's not just one guy. It's actually a company. They call themselves EarthCam. And basically they're offering this product, I guess you would call it. It's a camera with a robotic gimbal, all sold as one package. And the demo image that they've got on their website is of the basically the cityscape of New York, and it's 80 billion pixels. You can zoom in from an extraordinary distance away and see an amazing amount of detail. And I was looking at some of the buildings across the river. I assume it's the Hudson, but I don't know my New York geography well enough.
Yeah.
But I was looking at the buildings on the other side of the river, and it's really sharp. Like, for something that is that far away,
Yeah.
it's really,
As all those gigapixel things are amazing.
Yeah. So I was having a bit of a zoom around on that image just before we started recording. I thought it was pretty cool. But yeah, so they're offering that as a product for sale with a helpline to get you up and running and assist you with your capture, and so I don't know if they're offering it to companies as a security thing, or if it's for photographers who want to.
Well, it wouldn't work really well as a security thing, you wouldn't think, because the amount of time to take the shot.
So. Yeah.
I'm sure someone here had gigapans available for a while. Maybe it was KL. I think KL down in Sydney and Melbourne and Brisbane had gigapans for sale. So if someone wants to go and do 800 trigger pixel megapockles, those things, photos of tennis balls in wind tunnels, there you go.
Yeah.
So I'd like to see that technology put to use in a wind tunnel. That'd be interesting. or a penguin barbecue.
Yes.
Now, I did come across one thing this week which did kind of blow me away a little bit.
Okay.
But the thing is, it's got nothing to do with photography. So, surprise! I don't know why we call ourselves a photography podcast. We should call it the crap show. Yeah. But anyway, Did you know, Bruce, in 1969, 3 months before Woodstock, there was a massive music festival in Harlem.
I did not know that.
As an aside, let's stop there for a second. Did you know that Pink Floyd used to be called Megadeths?
No.
Their first name was Megadeths before they became the Pink Floyd, before they became Pink Floyd.
Right.
Megadeth. So, because now there's a band called Megadeth. I wonder if they stole it from them, because it's kind of a... Yeah, anyway, 1969, Harlem. Now, we're talking... So, imagine the 1969, you've got artists like Nina Simone, Stevie Wonder, Sly and the Family Stone, B.B. King, the Staple Singers, all these amazing artists at nigh on their prime, or even just before they started to become, all filmed in a full documentary that has never been seen. Right.
Why not?
It was filmed. It was put into the storage somewhere because that whole summer of 69, 70, the world was going up in flames, the protests, it just got put aside and disappeared.
Oh, you're serious?
I'm deadly serious. It hasn't been seen ever.
Right.
And, well, when I say ever, it's starting to be seen now because it just won the best documentary category, I should say, at Sundance.
Right.
So they call it the Black Woodstock, as I said, and it looks unbelievable.
So what happened with the film? Did it suddenly get discovered recently?
Yeah, so a guy... Do you ever watch... I don't know what show he's on. It might be like... Steve Colbert or someone like that.
Oh,
one of those guys. One of those nighttime shows.
Yep.
That's got a band.
Yep.
Well, the drummer in the band is a guy called Questlove.
Yes.
He discovered it and he produced it and he released it.
Wow. I think Questlove, I think, is on Jimmy Kimmel.
There you go.
Yep.
Kimmel, isn't that dog food?
Yeah.
So anyway, so he produced it and put it all out and got it out there. And so any of our music lovers, because I know we've got a few people here who like a bit of good music, keep an eye out for it. I reckon it's going to be pretty special.
So this is the Summer of Soul link that you sent me?
The Summer of Soul, it's called. Yeah. So to be able to see something like that, there's iconic people and never seen before performances. And of course, anytime you see stuff like that, just the history you see there as far as the clothing, their hairstyles, the buildings, the cars, and to see all that's never been seen before, I reckon that's pretty cool. So it's a pretty monumental discovery and release. So
nice.
So anyway, that's my stuff. That's my actual work for the week.
Yeah. Well, one of the things that I saw this week as I was getting ready to record, and I know we've spoken about these in the past, is K&F with their magnetic filters. They've basically released this kit where you get a soft pouch that you can, hang on your belt or hang off your tripod, and it's got 3 filters in the kit. So I think there's a 3-stop ND and a 10-stop ND and a circular polarizer, and they attach magnetically to each other and to your to the mounting frame that you also get with the kit for about $110 US, which is not bad for 3 filters and the mounting attachment and your soft belt.
What sort of size are they?
That's a good question. I don't know.
Oh well, that's That's fine.
You didn't tell me that I had to start doing research this week. I thought that was next week.
That's episode 1000.
I thought it was a pretty cool, collection of stuff, and for a fairly reasonable price. And the images that are in the story on DIYphotography.net certainly look like, they're decent quality filters. So, yeah. Just thought I'd throw that in.
Yeah, we definitely talked about them before. That's good. Now, they'd be cool to try if they had them in appropriate sizes.
And the other thing that I saw was a video, which I didn't go and watch, but I liked the subject of the post, and it was what to do when your client doesn't like the photos you took. And I thought this would be an interesting question to throw to you. Like, what would you do if you had shot something and the client didn't like the images?
Well, it depends on why they didn't like them. It depends on what I was... So if the images I shot, let's say regardless of whatever genre of photography you do, if you're booked for a job and you have an existing style and that's what they've booked you on, and you provide images that are congruent with that style, f*** them. No, let's say a bride books you to do a wedding. She's looked at all your wedding photos. You have a certain style.
Yeah.
Let's do it. A friend of mine's a baby photographer, amazing baby photographer. I see one image of hers, out of context, I know it's hers.
Yep.
I can see her style a mile away. Let's make it non-personal, but make it somebody else. If someone books her based on all those images that I see that I recognise instantly as her style, and she shoots an image that perfectly fits in that style, and the person doesn't like it, that's not the photographer's fault.
No.
Now, if they can pick a general look, it's beautiful. You shot it lovely. The light's like you normally do. The pose is like you normally do. The post-processing is like you normally do. Love all that stuff. But he's got his finger up his nose. Not so keen on that, Fair enough. But you know what? The photographer probably wouldn't have provided that,
Yeah.
So if they've and look, and there's probably a million reasons why this can go wrong. But let's say if you shot to the style that is your signature style, and you provided work comparable to all the other stuff that you do, and they don't like it because they don't like, I don't like the look of that. Well, that's my style, and that's what you booked me on. What were you expecting?
Yeah.
And then you have to say, And first of all, I would never answer straight away. You'd say, well, what is it you don't like about it? I'd make them hang themselves first, if possible.
Yeah.
By telling me all the things that I don't like, that's my style. And I'll say, do you mean that thing there? That's what I always do. And it's all these photos that you saw when you booked me. That thing you don't like? Well, then I'll go to, I said, so what is it actually you don't like? Is it you don't, all of a sudden decide you don't want to pay the money? Now you think that now all of a sudden, because the job is done and it's not time to pay the piper, if you say you don't like him, you might get yourself he'll give it to me half price because I don't like the image. There might be other reasons, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And do not ever discredit. That's a big part of why that happens a lot.
Right.
If you're booked as a product photographer and you shoot it in keeping with your style, and the thing is also the brief. The brief is really important. So if you are photographing and they've given you a full brief of exactly what and you do exactly what that brief asked for, well, what's your complaint? What is it you don't like? I've fulfilled everything you asked for in the style and look and tone and coloration of what you asked for. What is your problem? And if they come out with a whole bunch of stuff that's not in the brief, you say, well, I'm sorry, that's not my problem.
Yeah.
This is what you asked me to do. This is what I provided. Happy to reshoot. I'll even give you 10% off my normal, the rate we've just done.
Yep.
But I'm charging you again.
Yeah.
If I'm shooting again, I'm charging you again because I fulfilled what you asked for.
Yeah.
If you couldn't give a detailed enough brief of what it was you actually wanted, how am I supposed to be psychic enough to know that?
Yeah.
So I'm not sure what this article says.
Yeah.
But there's all these reasons. The problem lies is when you are a starting photographer.
Yeah. And don't have the skills.
You don't have the style. You're kind of a bit all over the shop with what you produce, quality wise or look wise.
Yeah.
Your post processing skills aren't down to nailing your look, And then also, of course, and you can see it. You go on Instagram, and you look at a photographer who's got their stuff going on.
Yeah.
Don't look at mine. You look this. You can look through page after page of the Instagram, and everything matches. It's all. Even how they post it is matched to their style.
Yeah.
They have this is our look. Must be boring as batshit, to be frank. if you're shooting the same stuff every single. You go and look at a startup photographer; they got stuff all over the place.
Yep.
They've mixed in iPhone shots with backs of blurry photos of people's ears and all sorts of stuff. Yeah, that's a person's going to get complaints. You would imagine.
Yeah.
And so I would always say, you as a photographer, it's your job to not start shooting until you fully understand the brief.
Yeah.
And you've reconfirmed that brief back to the person who's asking for it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that person better be the person who makes the decisions, not the person who makes the decisions sent to talk to you.
Yes.
Because that person may not translate the words as accurately or as fluently or properly as the person who actually had the idea of what they wanted.
Yeah.
So, and I would get them to sign off on it.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is what we've agreed to shoot. Sign here. Bang.
Yeah.
There's nothing. So I mean, there's lots of ways of mitigating that from happening, or reducing the chances of it going wrong. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
And sometimes, this photographer friend of mine in the US, he just went on this big long shoot for. This is like literally 2 days ago. Went for a shoot up the Pacific Northwest with a camper van company, shooting stuff. They'd given him a camper van to live in for a couple of weeks. He's doing all his promotions and giveaways. On the way back, someone broke in and stole all his camera gear and all his images.
No.
10 grand worth of stuff just gone.
Oh. And he'd not backed up anything?
Well, it was on the road. He had everything backed up on his backups in the van, and he had his camera. It's all gone. Yeah.
Oh, man.
So, yeah, stuff can go wrong. Yeah, that's a different kettle of fish, of course.
Yeah.
People complaining about that. So, but yeah. So what did they come up with?
Like I said, it was a video, and I hadn't had a chance to watch the video, but it was just the heading that caught my eye, and I thought, that's a good question to throw to Glynn.
Yeah. Thanks for the heads up. That's good.
Because I'm sure, at some point you've encountered, something like this.
Oh, no, I can't agree. I can't agree with anything they're saying here. Whatever the reason is behind your subject's dissatisfaction, the key to resolving the problem is communication. Be nice. Don't be a know-it-all. Oh, well, I'm out already.
Glynn's out.
I'm shot. I'm shot. And do things your way without listening to their... Don't be a know-it-all and do things your way without listening to their reasoning. Instead, talk to them, listen to what bothers them, and then either educate them... Oh, that sounds like being a know-it-all. I'm good. Let me sit down. Let me educate you, or implement their ideas. Well, no. And here's the thing. Okay, so he's showing shots of models, right?
Right.
If you're shooting a model, you're showing them shots as you're shooting to keep them sort of up and happy, and so they're seeing the work as they're going, and they could then go, "Oh, nah, look, I didn't realise I had that thing sticking out my head.
Yeah,
I'll take that off." They're part of the process of the shoot when you're shooting people, not necessarily stuff like weddings because, they're busy on the day. You're not going to be running up showing them photos. But if you're doing a model shoot, an editorial shoot for a fashion magazine or something, you're going to be working with the model as a collaboration.
Yeah. You're
going to be showing them stuff and go, oh, no, you're shooting the wrong side here, dude. It's going to look better if we do. Okay, let me show you that. Yeah, that changes can happen during the shooting unless the brief says it must only ever be shot from the left-hand side. Whatever. Yeah. He's right about one thing, but the communication should be before the job, not necessarily after.
Definitely.
After it's trying to fix problems, communication beforehand is making sure there are no problems.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
excellent. All right. Well, that's
I've got one more thing.
Oh yeah.
I'm not sure what's going to happen yet, but for all our German and European listeners, I'm going to be doing a fake in-person chat with United Imaging Group, GmbH, the world's largest photo group that's based in Germany. I'm going to do a streaming talk on travel photography.
Right.
So, sometime in the very near future. It's just been sorted out now. So, I think they've got like 3,500 stores or something like that.
Wow.
This group. They make up 40% of the market share of Europe. Photographic sales.
Yeah, right.
So it's a pretty big organisation. And guess what? The first thing they say to me is, "Oh, there's no cash involved. Then we can't afford to pay you. We can't afford to pay you." our photo sales are expected to be, photo sales of below the line, well, don't know what that means, below the, more than €500 million. is their sales for 2020 is what they're expecting.
Right.
This is an old article I'm looking at here, and they can't afford to slip a few shekels towards the old Uncle Glynn. I tell ya. €500 million. They can't even. Anyway,
Yeah.
Maybe they'll send me a bratwurst or something. I don't know. But yes, I'll be doing that sometimes. So I'll keep you all informed, and that's just been developing at the moment. So that'll be a bit of fun.
Cool.
We're going to green screen it here and there and make it look like we're sitting in the same room together talking.
Ah, clever.
Which would be, it probably won't work. Yeah, technology.
Yeah,
But still, best laid plans and stuff.
Excellent.
All right, that's it.
All right,
My
mate.
goodness. Well, you know what we've just done, don't you?
What's that?
We've had an episode.
Yes.
Yeah, and I think after our listeners have listened to this, they may have an episode too. But what's new then, eh?
All right, mate. We have a good one.
I shall indeed. I'm going to. I'll report back next week to how my disastrous day of shooting goes on Saturday,
Right.
and I'll try and make sure I remember all the strange and bizarrely wonderful things that go wrong. Because
Excellent.
it's going to be a show.
All right, mate. Have fun.
Bye all. Before you go though, Bruce, here's the thing: if we talk for just like 55 more seconds,
Yeah.
we'll have gone for 1 hour.
Is that right?
I know. Let's not do that.
But do you really know at what point we actually started recording? You hit record an hour ago.
I hit record the second I said, "Gee, I'm awesome." Yeah, standard beginning of the show.
Right. Okay.
Now, so and of course, everything we say and do is gold. It's perfect. So there's no need to edit.
Gold for Australia.
No need to edit, my friend.
None
perfection.
whatsoever.
None. So, just skip this up. We've got 10 seconds to go because I want to see. Because I'm not going to listen, but I want our listeners to report back how long this episode actually is that goes out to air. Because I've never checked. But if our episodes end up like 14 minutes, Bruce, I'm telling you.
We've done the listeners a service.
Shit. We've gone 6 seconds too far. Bye, everybody.
You've been listening to Shutters Inc. For questions, comments, and feedback, email theboys@shuttersincpodcast.com.